I started playing Dhalsim and
Okay.
I had a lot of hard time with this character. I realized really quickly that this is
Very
not
difficult. Yeah.
it cannot be a counter pick character. You cannot counter pick Dhalsim and just have a side Dhalsim character. You need to be a Dhalsim main if you want to have an efficient Dhalsim. So I made the choice.
Yes.
The playstyle of Dhalsim was reminding me a lot of Sea Viper because it was a neutral control character, really aerial character, and also a good offensive character. People expect Dhalsim to be zoning only, but I think the funniest Dhalsim in all the Street Fighters area was the offensive Dhalsims.
Yeah.
Aggressive
Street Fighter,
Dhalsims are very interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, the gameplay of Dhalsim changed a lot actually throughout all the Street Fighter live
progressively, everyone kind of played safe at the start.
Yeah.
And then later on, it got more creative, and then they found pathways to make it more aggressive but efficient at the same time as well. So
Okay.
True.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think the drill was the move who start the offense with Dhalsim. Even in SF2, he had some possibility to be offensive and to like be dangerous for the opponent.
Street Fighter 2, I remember Dhalsim was definitely for the competitive players, he was one of the most aggressive characters because people found out drills were plus on block.
Oh yeah, people can drill all day. Yeah,
Just drill all day.
Yeah.
Like the move speed was
and
so
then
fast.
the yoga
and,
noogie, the where you,
Yeah, the
like,
throw.
gives you,
the throw, and just infinite, kind of like an infinite.
and then do a
loop.
slide and then do it again, and then slide and then do it. Yeah, that
Why
was
don't we have that now? I'm so mad.
No, old games. That's old game conversation. We're here playing about the new games. Street Fighter V, Dhalsim. Yeah. So you played a bunch of different characters before. You weren't like Dhalsim for life, like from the beginning of your origins of playing Street Fighter. You've developed into Dhalsim because you found him a kind of an interesting character that you could main, that you have to main, and you can't just play as a side character. So I guess that kind of puts you in that driver's seat for a very long time. Now you kind of like, because the more you learn about Dhalsim, the more you kind of have to like, the more you've upgraded this character that needs that kind of like care and attention, right? There's no secondary Dhalsim. So do you feel that you kind of got locked in that sense? The more you learned about Dhalsim and you got better with him?
True. That's also why sometimes people don't understand that Dhalsim in SF5 and SF6. I hope for now have pretty much the same future. If I can say, the beginning of Dhalsim usually are pretty weak in most of the game. I think about SF4, also SF5, maybe SF6, because most of the game, the early game, are more based on offense, big damage. Plus situation on block and like snowball situation, and the more it goes, the more they decrease a little bit the damage, the more they give defensive options, and the more Dhalsim have an opportunity to shine. So some people don't understand that I invest in Dhalsim because I think that the character will and have on long spawn game, I want to be there in 10 years, and I think that Dhalsim will be stronger in the end of SF6 than right now and few months ago.
Yeah.
So that's why I invest myself in this character, and I also like to play him. Also in terms of diversity, I done martial art in my life. I did many martial art, judo, boxing, and all the stuff, and I realized that. Diversity is something that make your sport rich. If we all play Ryu, it's boring. So that's why I try to invest in this character.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. I think, I kind of wanted to mention, you said that you originally picked Dhalsim as a counter pick to Laura, but then, of course, everyone knows Red Bull Kumite, right? In London, the grand finals, it was the first to 5 with probably the best Laura that there ever was, right? And so tell us a little bit about that match going into it. You must have been like, okay, I am playing this. I on one hand, this is a matchup that I think is good, but on the other hand, it's the best player of this character. How did you feel going into that match, and when you were just so close to winning the whole thing?
True. That's really funny because at the end of this tournament, I faced pretty much the character that I gave up in the past for my new character.
Yeah.
So sometimes, it's interesting to play different kind of character, even if it's just to learn the basics, because one of the most important thing, in my opinion, in fighting games is the ability to put your mind in the mindset of your opponent, to understand what he might choose in defensive option or offensive option, considering his drive jauge or his super jauge, etc. And I think the fact that I played Laura helped me on some games that I've done against Idom. Always a player, a really particular player for me, a player that I liked a lot, even if we didn't had the opportunity to speak that much. And to spend a lot of time together and stuff. That's also the beauty of fighting games, is that we can discuss in the game. Every time when I play, he show me something different, and I can adapt or try to adapt. So yeah.
That matchup, I do have to also kind of add in the famous quote from Idom when he won Capcom Cup is that he likes the play style where he doesn't want the opponent to think about the next move.
Okay.
And do as much as you can to, I wouldn't say confuse them is the right term, but more to do with never let them expect your next move kind of thing, right? That was the mindset of Idom's strategy.
Yeah.
That compared to how maybe Nathan has a different opinion, but as a Dhalsim player myself, is like the worst. It's like I have to play. Not that I'm saying I'm this type of player, but I like to play in a progressive and constructive way. I build up the strategy based on the statistics of the opponent, right?
Yeah.
But if a player like Idom appears, I'm like,
you got to throw that away. You got to throw it all out the window.
The move that he did 2 seconds ago is I collect the data, and then 5 seconds later I realize, okay, I collected the wrong data. So it's an infinite loop of regretting that I'm learning something from the opponent.
And that's something
like a very chaotic strategy. Yeah.
That's something I like also about fighting games, is that your psychology, I mean personal psychology, might be interesting to pick a character considering your own psychology. Dhalsim player is for very specific person, I think. Me, I think that I have a good psychology concerning Dhalsim, because I'm pretty calm in life. I don't stress myself. If things go wrong, then I try to not panic. Most of the bad things happen when you panic, so I try to stay calm and composed. Maybe some players, like to say about Adam, but there is Takamura, who play really offensive.
Takamura.
I've seen his Akuma in 5,
and same in life, they accept the risk. They are different press psychology, and I think that's really cool to pick sometimes even if you pick the top tier, it might not fit you.
I think it's interesting because there's kind of an image of what kind of person a certain character main is, right? It's like obviously there's the Ken player. Ken players kind of have a little bit of a maybe not the greatest image, although thankfully people like Tokido has maybe elevated the Ken player. But you have I remember in Street Fighter 5 the Alex mains had their Discord community where they talk about how they almost won. Every time it's always about, oh man, it was a good match, but we just wasn't enough, right? And but for the Dhalsim players, I guess, what would be the thing that kind of defines Dhalsim players? I mean, on first thought, I would imagine Dhalsim players kind of to tinker and and mess with things and try to find new ways of thinking about how to use the character, and because there's so many different things that Dhalsim can do. I mean, he has his sweep was a slide in Street Fighter 2, right? And he still has the slide, the low move that goes down. It's not like a low medium kick that cancels into whatever you want, right? It's he has just different moves all across the board, and of course no reversal. I think like Mr. Crimson mentioned, a character like Dhalsim, somebody that wants to be, the thinking and not just mashing DP like a Ken player would, right? So it's there's kind of a classiness to it at the same time, but then there's a hipsterism because it's a character that's like I don't play those mainstream characters, right? You play like you're a Guile player, like it's like there's like this specialness to the.
I call it discipline.
Discipline. Okay. All right. So
you need a certain discipline to, first of all, to be happy with the Dhalsim.
Okay.
Because you can play Dhalsim and you can be good with Dhalsim, but sometimes you're not happy with it. And that's fine too.
Okay.
But if you want to be happy and you think that you're on the right path and you're okay with the small struggles, knowing that it'll reach a greater goal, I think you need a certain discipline to be a greater Dhalsim player. That's
All
why.
right. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Nathan? Do you think he's on the right track?
Yeah, I agree. If I have to give one quality to the Dhalsim player, I think it's between either curiosity, because it's really important to stay curious, to watch different. It's a really rich character. You have many things to do in the game. There is many play style. You can go offensive, defensive, neutral control. You can spend your meta by a lot of ways. So I think watching all the Dhalsim players, exchanging with them is really important. So curiosity. And second, I will say adaptation, the ability to change things who does not work, to do something else, which is pretty hard, I think, in fighting games, even in life, actually. So yeah, adaptation and curiosity will be my two picks for the good quality.
Yeah, very cool. I guess maybe we can go back a little bit. One of the first things I wanted to ask, usually it's the icebreaker for these podcasts, but I was just I'm always curious about people's gaming backgrounds, because nowadays there's